detour route that is going down 8th Avenue in Homestead. And as you can see, it is very heavy and slow there once you approach the turn onto the Homestead Grays Bridge and head up the hill. I can tell you that right now, that is where you're going to run into the slowdown right on the Homestead Grays Bridge, and it's a red, orangish, reddish slow line for you from there all the way up to the Parkway. So right now, your drive time on that local detour is at 37 minutes. The interstate detour is at 38 minutes, so flip a coin which one you want to choose. And this is one of those days where PennDOT's prediction that Route 28 may be the best route is actually very evident. We are also awaiting word on exactly when the final countdown is going to come to the Commercial Street Bridge implosion. At about 10 till 8, we got word that it's going to happen within the next 30 minutes. So anytime here now in the next 20 minutes, we're talking about the detonation of that bridge could come. The contractors are finishing up the final preps. The safety efforts are underway, and we will let you know as soon as that's going to happen, and we'll bring it to you live.
Yeah, we're going to get you back to CBS Mornings in just a moment, and the local news continues on KDKA+. The implosion of that Parkway Bridge could happen around 8:15, 8:20. Stay with us.
Now, live on KDKA+ and streaming on CBS News Pittsburgh. This is the KDKA TV Morning News at 8.
And welcome to the KDKA+ Morning News. Take a look at this. We are looking at the Commercial Street Bridge. They just detonated it moments ago. You see the dirt, the dust all flying. It's coming out both sides underneath the new bridge. They gave us an alert that it could be within 30, and they didn't waste any time.
No, in fact, our crews there on the scene heard the warning sirens that they sound right before it's going to happen, and they knew whenever it was about 1 minute away. And right as we're coming back here, you can see it went down, and now the smoke is rising throughout the valley there. And of course, one of the things they wanted to make sure, they delayed it from last night because they wanted to make sure everything was safe, everyone would be safe, and they needed to bring this bridge down, almost bring it down on top of itself so it would not damage the new bridge that is right next to it.
Yeah, and the plume that we're seeing, what's coming out of there is a combination of smoke and dust. And whenever you do an implosion like this, you're going to get dust. But clearly, they got everything down because now what we're seeing are the wings of the bridge that still exist on either end, and everything in the middle is now down in the valley, as you're seeing from the KDKA drone team. Yeah, it looks like they brought it down. Now, what we need to see now is for all that smoke and dust to clear so that we can see the aftermath of exactly what happened to those foundations for the brand new bridge. And of course, and then they'll do the safety check because this is not a all clear kind of thing yet. not until they can get in there and make sure everything blew up.
Yeah, and in fact, we're going to take you live on the ground, right where the blast just happened. We had a camera stationed there, and you can see, this is what you can see through the smoke and the dust right now. It's very hard to make out, but this is the area, John, that you were just talking about, where they're going to go in and they're going to inspect it. They're going to, first off, make sure that everything detonated, that nothing else is live there that could injure anybody in any way. And then they're going to inspect the foundation eventually that is there for the new bridge to slide into, because they took great care making sure that that foundation was covered up, was protected, so when this bridge came down, that would not be damaged, because they want that foundation to be pristine and perfect so they can slide the new bridge in.
Exactly, and it is buried under not only the remnants of the bridge, but that remnants of the bridge is on top of a whole bunch of fill material, wood crane mats, steel plates, stone, aggregate, all covering those foundations for the brand new bridge. So you got to get all the smoke out of there. Then you have to check to make sure everything detonated, and then they can go in and start the process of uncovering those foundations. Now, the rest of the bridge, in the middle and the other parts, they're not going to really rush to get to that.
Right.
That can sit there. And in fact, I was told by John Myler, who has been the project manager on this, they could be cleaning that up for weeks even after the new bridge is open.
Right. It's not a priority. There's no hurry.
Absolutely not.
We do want to show you this. So we have video that we want to show you right now, and it is back just a few moments ago with the entire bridge coming down, right when they gave word, and then it fell. Let's watch the implosion here now. Wow.
Pretty incredible. And,
Wow.
and if you notice, there isn't a whole lot of flying debris.
Which is exactly what they wanted.
Right. It is exactly what they wanted. There were a few pieces that flew off. You usually see that. And one of the things that they're going to be looking at now is how much of that came off on the other side, because there's only 20 feet between the bridge that they just imploded and the new Commercial Street Bridge.
Right.
Now, they had draped the new Commercial Street Bridge in protective cloth, and that's real heavy-duty stuff. Plus, they had wrapped portions of the new Commercial Street Bridge to make sure anything that flew off in the implosion would not damage it. So that'll be the next, also part of the inspection. The main inspection is to make sure it's safe.
Right.
Make sure that the explosives have all gone and that everybody can get in there safely to move around. But then the next thing is going to be, okay, what happened to the new bridge? Did it get hit? Was there any damage? Because remember, when they took down Three Rivers Stadium 50 feet away from Heinz Field,
or Heinz Field at the time,
there was only 50 feet, and they broke one window.
Which is amazing.
which really
speaks to the specialists who do this kind of work. They are very attuned to what they're doing. And when you talk about wrapping the new bridge with that protective gear, I mean, they have this finely tuned so that the old bridge goes down on itself, basically, and nothing, hopefully, goes 20 feet over and is able to impact that protective gear and really damage the new bridge, because they're on a timetable. They want to slide that new bridge in, get it into place as quickly as possible, and meet that deadline. I want to talk about the smoke and the dust that's in that area right now, because I remember years ago, downtown Pittsburgh, when they brought down, remember the building with the Judy Penzer sports mural on the side? And they brought that down, and the dust went everywhere, clouds of dust. People went running into buildings wherever they could. This dust, I'm sure it's going up into those communities. It's going perhaps up towards Somerset there on the edge of Squirrel Hill, but it looks like it's dissipating already, and that's a very good thing.
Well, it's dissipating on the Swiss Helm Park side, without a doubt, but we're seeing it drifting more towards the South Squirrel Hill side. And
all right, so wait, put that in perspective.
On the right-hand side of your screen would be Swiss Helm Park.
Okay. All right. So that's the part. It definitely is leaving that area, but the wind is sort of taking it towards the Swiss
South Squirrel Hill. Yeah.
Somerset, that Frick area.
Well, actually, Somerset would be over to your right.
Okay. Okay.
So it's actually moving away from that and it's moving over in the opposite direction. It's going to be very interesting to see how much dust and debris end up in those neighborhoods. And by all means, if you are in that direction, if you got the windows open, you might want to get them closed.
Right.
For a period of time. We don't know how long. Now, as you can also see there, we don't have a high wind factor right now. It's not blowing out of there really fast. And part of that is the fact that we're in a valley. This is down. It's protected by hills all around. I mean, obviously, there's a tunnel there because there's a hillside. So you're not getting a lot of wind blowing from the west into this. It's just a very light wind coming up 9 Mile Run past the Somerset community and past Swiss Helm Park, which is blowing it then to the north and to the east from the site.
But you can tell it's moving, and
It is
and I
moving.
do think that's a good sign. But we'll have to find out how quickly it moves out of there, and how quickly will crews move in? Will they wait for the dust and everything to get out of there before they try to inspect it? Because they have to visually look at, did everything detonate? Is it safe to move in?
Well, the key thing is visibility. I mean, they need to be able to see where they're going and what's in front of them as they do that. So, yeah, they need this to dissipate at least to a certain degree. But you also have to remember, we are looking from a camera that's up above from the KDKA drone team looking down through the smoke. The visibility on the ground could be better, but still, they're not going to take any chances. They want to get this as clear as possible so they know what they're walking into.
Yeah, and they can give it a little bit of time to wait. I don't know if it's possible to switch to that camera on the ground that we had a few moments ago, and it showed us what the view looks like there. So this is a live look down on the ground, presumably where they would be entering and going in to sort of survey things. You can see very much still a smoky, dusty scene there.
But you are starting to see the new bridge in the distance. I mean, there is a clear line there that is the new bridge. So it is dissipating enough that we're starting to see that. But the key thing here is, and I know that the folks at PennDOT are anxious to find out what happened to the foundations for the new bridge. And that's just a matter of time before that smoke gets out of there and they can go in there and start getting a look at it. But as you heard Jason Zhang say, and you've also heard John Myler from PennDOT say, they were confident they did enough to protect those foundations, that they shouldn't be damaged, that all they have to do is dig them out.
Well, and talk to us about all the steps that they took, because Jason Zhang talked a little bit about this, but they had mounds of things over top of the new foundation, right?
Yeah, tons and tons. I mean, we're talking about fill material. We're talking about wood crane mats. Those are the big wood mats that cranes actually sit on, like platforms.
Right.
All right, they had those in there. They had steel plates over those. And then they had tons and tons more of stone and aggregate, meaning rock and that kind of thing, all covering up those foundations. Now, here's another key factor that they have to make sure. Not only do the foundations have to be clean, they also have to look at the base of the new bridge and make sure that nothing went over and disturbed the jacks from the company that's going to actually move. They have to look at those and inspect those to make sure they're okay. Right. Because obviously they're in place and ready for the move. There are a lot of things that they need to look at. But even as we've been talking here, David, now you're seeing
it's starting to clear.
Delineation of the new bridge. It is starting to clear. And they won't waste any time getting in there as soon as they know it's safe to get in there and start looking.
Yeah, all right. You know what? We want to play some video again because hearing the sound of this implosion has got to be incredible. So let's play video of when this came down right about 10 minutes ago at this point. Let's listen. There you have it.
Talk about a coordinated explosion.
You know what? There's something just so fascinating to watch. Something that has been there for years, that we've all driven over, for so many years, for it to go away so quickly.
One thing to see in these views of the blast, and it's subtle, but it's important.
Yes.
And that is that the north side of the bridge, the side away from the new bridge, actually detonated first. and then the side near the bridge. And that was designed to pull it away from the new bridge.
So that when it would fall, it would go sideways, kind of like a slant.
A little bit sideways, not much, but just enough to protect the new bridge. And clearly, in watching these different angles, you can see that side of the bridge goes first and then the other side. I mean, it's momentary. It is so momentary, but it is so crucial to make sure that bridge comes down where they want it to come down. And it looks like the detonations went off. It looks like everything went as planned. Now we just wait until all the dust and dirt clears, and then we see what happens.
Yeah, and PennDOT does plan to address us about all of this coming up later this morning to let us know how it went. But it's very interesting to hear your analysis of this because you know the ins and outs of how they wanted to bring it down. The fact that they wanted to have it sort of tilt away, but bring it down on itself, but tilt away from the new bridge. And from you watching this, I mean, it looks like they accomplished what they wanted to do.
Yeah, and that camera down on the ground, you could actually see the bridge coming towards the camera. And it's like, did our camera survive? Well, it did, because you're looking right now at it.
It's still operational in some way.
And we're really starting to see more of the debris from the bridge down there on the ground. Well, what's also kind of incredible is the size of that bridge.
Yes.
And look at the level of debris. I mean, it doesn't look like there's that much there.
It really doesn't. I mean, this is continuing to clear out. It's hard to see right now, but it looks like they're like perfectly placed little piles there.
Well, perfectly placed is what the demolition crew wants to hear.
Yeah, and that's why they are the experts and why they are brought in to do things like this. But the idea, let's leap ahead a little bit. This new bridge, once they figure out, hopefully, that the foundation was not damaged with all the efforts they took to protect it, when they begin the process of sliding it in. This fascinates me. They begin the process, which we think could happen maybe Sunday or Monday if things go well, and then it's like a 24-hour to 48-hour deal of sliding it in?
Yeah, because they move it. The jacks are designed to move it about 3 feet at a time. So they move it 3 feet, then they have to reset the jacks, and then they move it 3 feet. But the moving of the 3 feet could be as slow as, say, 10 minutes. Or it could be 30 minutes that they take to move 3 feet and then reset. They can do this, the company, Mammoet, can do this a whole lot faster than PennDOT wants them to.
Okay. I mean, PennDOT wants to make sure it's done right and not accelerate things faster than they need to go.
Right, and what they will be doing is they will be monitoring the bridge as it moves to make sure that it moves as one unit and nothing gets out of tilt or out of whack because that could damage the bridge. So they move it very slowly, and once they start that process, if they're moving it, say, at say 15 minutes for 3 feet, then they have to reset, and then they do it again. So it could take up to 24 hours, which means if you're watching it with the naked eye, is it moving?
I know. It's going to be a very, very slow process.
Did you see it move?
But
you know,
it will get there.
So that process will take place. And when we talked to Jason Zhang from PennDOT earlier this morning, he told us, and I asked him, I said, is it possible this move of the bridge could come on Sunday or Monday? And he said, yes, that is possible. They don't think it's going to take more than a couple of days to get the foundations clear. All
right. Our team is out there in the area. And right now we can talk to Jessica Riley about what she saw from her vantage point. And whether there were there spectators there at this hour of the morning? Did people come out where you are to watch this come down?
David John, you know, it was kind of weird to see because everyone started to show up at the last second here, making it just in time. So there were a good amount of spectators watching this over here, and it was just happened in a flash. You know, we got that 30-minute warning, then we heard the sirens, and we heard more sirens for a 1-minute warning, and then it just took off like that. Let me step out of the way because this is the more interesting thing you want to see here this morning. You can see as that smoke is really clearing up. I want to try to describe to you how it felt here. You know, I've never really been towards an explosion and implosion, and you could feel kind of the shock wave come. It sounds like firecrackers just kind of rattling through your body here, and then to see the smoke just go up, and I think the heat is kind of adding to it too. It's a weird scene here this morning, very unique and interesting to see, and now we're kind of seeing, we're hearing more sirens go off right now, but not sure what that's about at this moment. We can figure that out. So we're seeing really the smoke clear out now, and you can see it's kind of apocalyptic looking down just at the bridge. It's no longer there. It's crazy how quickly things can happen in a flash, but I'll tell you, it just shocked through my body, and I'm still kind of shaking. And just having the heat with it too really just felt like something out of a movie, something I've really never seen, especially here in real life. And I'm sure a lot of these spectators, and that's why they made the time to come out here this morning. It's something they wanted to see. You know, you really can't ever put what it's going to be like until you're out here. And I'll tell you what, it was pretty cool to see. And we're now starting to see that smoke really clear out of the way, and we're starting to see kind of what's left of the old bridge here. So guys, I'll tell you what, something I've never seen before, pretty interesting to watch, to feel it. And I kind of want to go back also and just kind of watch it again, because I was so shocked at the moment. But definitely something that I am proud that I got to see and got to be out here and watch here this morning.
Ask you, you talked about feeling a shake. Did you feel a rumble? Could you feel under your feet a little bit of like something moving?
Yeah, I mean, I don't want to say earthquake because I've never really experienced that, but to me, that's what that would feel like, it coming under your feet, kind of shocking your body back in a way and rumbling through you. And it was louder than I expected it to be, the boom and just coming through you. You know, I thought it would be quieter, honestly, to me, but I could feel it, and it kind of pushed me back, and it had an impact on me for a few minutes after, just kind of shaking like, whoa, what was that? Really cool.
You know, Jess, as we look at this and we look at the plume, obviously it moved to the north, away from you, fortunately, so you didn't get it. But I mean, the folks over there in Regent Square, where it's headed, and towards Wilkinsburg, you're still seeing a pretty decent plume headed that direction, aren't you?
Absolutely, yeah. We're seeing it move over there, and it's kind of clearing out of our area. I guess that is a good point to bring up. It didn't come our way. So I feel like this is definitely something people are, if they weren't aware of this and they see that, they're going to wonder what had happened. But yeah, it's still thick. It's still moving thickly. It's just kind of out of the way of the bridge now. I think it wanted its moment to see kind of what was going on here. But yeah, definitely moving, and where people are going to be able to see thick still as well through the trees over there, kind of eerie in a way.
You are, I mean, fortunately, it's moving away from you. Can you smell anything? Can you detect it in the air?
I can't smell anything. No,
okay.
That is the one thing, the one sense that we can't have right here is the smell of it. I don't know if I'd want to smell that, but no. We heard it, we felt it.
We're glad you're not experiencing that.
Yeah.
Yes, we are.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Have you had a chance to talk to any of the onlookers there and what their thoughts were about watching this come down?
That's what I was going to try to talk over to them. You know, you kind of see the shock on their face. They think it's so cool, and just kind of speaking to them prior, it's just something, it's kind of a part of history for them watching something like this happen. And for me, it's something I haven't seen happen really in real life. So I think that's something they wanted to come out and see. It's our Pittsburgh area. They want to see history in the making. And I feel like for them, it was just a shocking, cool moment to see right here.
Yeah. All right. And Jess, thank you very much. And we also want to reemphasize, if you're in the Regent Square area, headed over towards Whitney Field or over towards the Wilkinsburg area, this plume, if you will, is headed your direction. But it also looks like it's dissipating. I'm wondering how much wind we have out there.
Yeah, in fact, let's check in with Ron right now and find out what the situation is over there, because it does seem like, I mean, that's a valley, but we can see in that video,
there's movement.
It has been moving and pretty steadily.
Yeah, it's moving, but also I think that a lot of this is fairly large as well. This is dust that's actually there, so it's starting to settle as well. So I think that the lighter winds that we're seeing right now is actually helping it to kind of start to hit the ground more, and so as it does, it looks like it's dissipating. Also, there is a wind, just a little bit of a light wind that's helping things along there. So yeah, I think things are starting to settle out there. Certainly some good news there. Let's talk a little bit about your forecast. We do have a first alert weather day today because of the poor air quality. It's not because of the bridge, it's because of Canadian smoke that's going to be around all day long. The good news right now, hey, this is the time to do it with the bridge because it's not too bad outside when it comes to air quality. We're actually in that yellow zone, but by the end of the day, really by about 5 or 6 o'clock, we're going to be up in the red zone, and we'll stay that way for the overnight hours. So just be aware of that. It's not just us, man. This is a big time event really having an impact when it comes to our air quality. High temperature today, 90 degrees. Temperatures right now as you're stepping out the door, we're in the mid 70s.
All right, thanks a lot, Ron, and we've got a lot more to come.
Yeah, we will be right back here on KDKA Plus. Stay with us.
.823 and breaking news, the Commercial Street Bridge is now down.
Yeah, it happened just around 8 o'clock this morning, and we want to show you some videos of that right now because we have been talking about it. It was delayed last night, and it came down. There you see it. That is the view of the Commercial Street Bridge coming down, and right now PennDOT will move in and contractors will move in to see how exactly the project went.
And most critically, they want to make sure that the new bridge wasn't damaged and that the new bridge foundations are in good shape. They're waiting for the all clear from the contractor, the demolition contractor, that everything exploded, and then they'll be getting in and they'll be combing through what's left and taking a look at those structures.
Yeah, and we will check in with our crews at the scene coming up here. We will also check in with Ron Smiley as the smoke and dust continues to dissipate there. We will have much more on KDKA Plus. Please join us there.